All right. So we're live now. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Sunday morning. You're now listening to YTIP, YTIP Radio, YTIP Podcast. Today we have special guests in the house. A young producer out of St. Kitts. His name is GT Beats. What's up, GT Beats?
Just here, chilling, living.
How's it going, man? I ain't talked to you in a long time, man. Since probably maybe a few years.
5 years. That's like,
Few years, man. But that's life, man. When you go foreign sometimes, it's just a long time before you even link back and start really connecting with people again. But yeah, the first thing I want to ask you, man, your name is GT Beats. What is the GT? What that mean?
well, long story short, my mother Guyanese. A lot of people don't know that my mother is Guyanese. And, they call people from Guyana GT because, the capital of Guyana is Georgetown.
Right.
There's a from here.
So your mother Guyana is your father Kittian. You
But
born
I'm born here. I'm a
you born in St. Kitts?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the GT in your name it stand for Georgetown from Guyana because your mom is Guyanese.
Yeah. So
Okay,
GT.
word. So you half right. So you half Guyanese, half Kittitian.
Yes.
Okay, word, man. That's really cool, GT. So Vicious Style. I know you started off with Vicious Style. That was a crew that you guys had in the beginning from what, like high school?
Yes, that was like from second farm. It was all in second farm.
Word. How much people was in the crew at the time?
But I think we start off with like let me see, about 8, but then it boiled down to like 6.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find that happened a lot with crews, especially when you're young. Because like with me, I had my own crew, Blunt Killers, and we started off with maybe 7 people, and then we wound down to like 4, and then we went down to like 3, and then we went down to like just 2, and then it's just me now.
Yeah.
So sometimes with crews, you find that only the serious ones them will last. You know what I mean? And even like when I remember back in the day when you guys used to come through by this little studio I had in the back of the store and stuff, and um I noticed that you was the serious one in the crew. I noticed that. I noticed you was the one who was trying to get everybody together, trying to get things going, trying to talk to everybody and trying to pull it together, man. So you and them guys still link?
Majority of them. But
On a music level or just, hey, what's up, brother?
well, some on a musical level and some is just, personal. Things change over the course
Right,
of
y'all grew up.
Yeah, everybody grew up, responsibilities took over, so
You got a child now too?
no.
I know, I know, I know. That's a thing.
You would
Sometimes
have know. You would have know if I had a
I
child.
probably would have seen it on your Instagram or something.
Yeah.
I would have probably seen it on your Instagram. I know. I remember a couple of guys from the crew. I don't remember everybody, but I remember a couple of guys. I remember Queely. Is Queely still around doing anything? He
Yeah,
just
Clearly still around. Clearly showed me in by last week self.
okay? He's still doing music, or he don't do
Yeah,
music no more?
Clearly still doing music. Clearly still doing music.
But
Who else?
mm-hmm,
Dino still doing music.
mm-hmm.
Um,
I know. What's his name again? I don't. Was he in the crew by?
who that?
Andrew? Was Andrew in the crew?
Yeah, Andrew.
Andrew, I know he ain't live St. Kitts no more though. He lives somewhere else. I seen
Uh,
a couple on Instagram with him, and he look like he don't live in St. Kitts anymore.
Well, he in a note.
You
But
know, okay. I noticed he was somewhere in foreign somewhere. I saw Instagram with him. So Queel is still around,
yeah, clearly still around.
and I know you still work with one of them. What's his name?
Dino.
Dino. Okay, is it Dino? I'm
Actually,
not too sure.
around.
Yeah, but there's another one, man. Dark skinned dude. Really good at rapping. Really good at rap. He was good.
Kid
He had
Cash. Oh yeah, I could forget about Kid Cash.
Kid Cash. Not Kid Cash though, another one.
Another one.
I can't remember the other one name, but Kid was he named Kid? No, he wasn't Kid nothing. I don't
Yeah.
remember his name, but he's still around. I heard a few songs, probably with you and him, like y'all did something.
Oh, because we only had
Mm-hmm.
Dino,
Give me some names.
Kid Cash, Andrew, Queely,
Mm-hmm.
Astro. Who else, man?
Astro. Wonder if it's Astro by.
Yeah, Astro, you gotta be Astro.
Yeah. Dark skin dude, right?
But you see, he changed his name. He used to name Whiskey.
Wizkid.
Yeah, so that is what you.
That's who. That's yeah. I thought that he was pretty impressive. To be honest with you, I thought he was one of the impressive ones in terms of like just lyrical, ability and kind of like and sometimes you got to do with drive too. Some people have to have a drive. It's like if there's no drive, then the crew would fade off, and everybody got to be on the same kind of like mental kind of like
Exactly.
thinking.
Very
And
hard.
because if it's just you and pushing the crew, eventually they're gonna fall off,
You're
and
gonna you're gonna just get exhausted. Like you
yeah,
are
yeah,
in all the work and the chemistry is not there. So
right,
why
right,
why why even try to do this?
exactly. So the crew broke up then.
Yes.
Okay,
Around, let me see, 2018, 19, like late 2018.
the crew
Like,
broke up.
things just start to fall in apart. Like, okay, one person gone, next
Mm-hmm.
person, then all sorts of craziness. But, regardless of what, I always was passionate
Mm-hmm.
about music, so nothing could have happened like that serious could make me stop.
Right,
No matter what happened, I always had in my mind, this is my passion and this is what I was destined for.
right.
A lot of crazy stuff happened during the journey, but I always tell myself, hey, this is what I want. I'm not going to stop. Like, I love music. Is a reason why I started. I learned, the instruments,
Mm-hmm.
mix and mastering. Even though it was exhausting on my end,
Mm-hmm.
it was just something about this that I really wanted to do, and I just can't stop. You know.
Yeah, yeah, and it's beautiful because it's people like you who don't really make it far, because you have the capacity to keep it together while you're struggling, and to also have faith in your hustle, in your strive to make it bigger. So when did you get started in terms of like production and stuff like that?
You mean making beats?
Yeah, when did you start making beats and all that stuff?
Well, I started in 2014.
Hmm. And you
24.
was how old?
I was about 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, 15
So
years.
so what really drove you to that? Like what came to you to say, hey, start making beats and stuff? Because I know you used to make a lot of hip hop beats, and it
Yeah,
seemed to me like you was more into the trap beats.
yes, that's what I started out doing. But what really got me into it, I was just curious
Mm-hmm.
when it comes around like sounds. Like I would hear records on the radio, and I'd be like, well, how he put this like this? Like it was just like a curiosity as a child. Like
Mm.
how they get these type of like lead synths and this. I don't even know what was a synth them time, but I know it's a
Mm.
sound, and I was like, how they get these? But then I remember growing up, I had a couple friends like who used to make Oilers and so,
Yeah.
but they had this thing called FL Studio, Fruity Loops. I used to sit there
Mm.
dip and dabble. So a couple times I would go on and like put patterns and so, and I realized like, okay, then that's how you do it. But
Right.
then I didn't download the program until couple years after, and then I said, okay then, and then I went on YouTube, how to make hip hop beats, just being fast,
Mm.
and then I get this off it from a friend, and I continue watching tutorials, and I tamper and I tamper and I tamper and I tamper, and I was like, yo, I really like this,
Mm.
cause man, if you remember when the government had a program when they was giving out laptop,
Yeah. I
yeah man,
forgot the name of the laptops, but the government was giving us
yeah, doggy tap, yeah man, that one picture that some Dell, like the silver Dell them, yeah man.
Mm.
I take advantage of that, download
So
the
you started working on your beats with the doggy tap.
yeah, man, but you got big up doggy, man.
Hey, you got big up doggy then,
Yeah,
you gotta
man,
big up
doggy,
doggy.
doggy.
Doggy really start your career, man.
Yeah,
Doggy
doggy.
give you that career start, man.
The laptop program, then me buy me download FL Studio,
Mm-hmm.
get some sounds and tamper and tamper and tamper. And then, I don't know, like, there's this one thing about me I realize, like,
Mm-hmm.
once I put my mind to something,
Right.
I gonna always make sure I, accomplish like, me ain't gonna stop until at least like satisfied to say, well, okay, then I feel good, and then realize like as I continue doing it, them man tell me, but you're bad, but you just start, and like it boosts me ego same way still, and
Right.
continue, and then it's just fascinating to see that I started off here and I got up to this point, and it was like I don't even know what it, but at the same time I just have to understand that my willpower and my drive is just different. Like as a youngster coming up, the amount of the amount of study I put in, the amount of research,
Yeah. Because I didn't make beats, and I know that shit hard. That it's like a tough process. And
Yeah.
especially when you're just starting out, like when you're just starting out, you literally don't want to take the computer and bust it on the wall, because it's like you kind of like be listening other beats, other people beats, and you're trying to be like, how the hell did he do that? And they're trying to tweak, and you're trying to press this, and you're trying to do this, and you do it, and you still sound like crap to you. And it's like I remember when I first started making beats, the biggest problem I had was programming drums. And like I couldn't get my drums them to like smack. You want your drums them to like, because for me like the kind of hip hop I do is like drum heavy.
Yeah.
A drum heavy hip hop. Y'all might do my more bass heavy. And it's like just trying to make the drum them sound good was a big issue for me. So what programs you using right now?
I'm using 2 programs. FL Studio for the compositions, like making beats. I used to record in FL Studio, but I switched to Studio One.
Okay. I hear a lot about Studio One, but I never use it. I think I had it one time, but I never really used it that much.
Yeah, but remember, if you forget, but remember like way back then, like around that same time when I just started, 2014, 15, I had Reaper and a MacBook. You forget?
Right. Yeah, I had Reaper.
I had a little idea because you and man like I bless them and show me I want to think. So I always had a knowledge like, like record.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember when you guys used to come through, I used to tell you, man, just take over the studio, man.
Yeah, and that's okay. That is one thing I always tell people. There's this one person I can't forget, and it's Dagger. We don't talk much.
Yeah.
But you is one person I have to, give respect for, because like you could have just tell us like, I just come in my studio and I play. Them ten them and small, like,
Yeah, I was kids. I was just in high school.
Like, but I just come up here play. But
nah, man, I see a future in y'all.
Yeah, you saw potential, and I always respected that. Like, you should just let us come in the studio and go on the MacBook and record, and sometimes we don't even know we are doing that record kind of shooting. But at the end of the day, you saw the potential within us, and I have respected that. And I always tell people to that you was one of the first person to carry us on a photo shoot, just randomly. Like, okay, guys, when I come in town Saturday. Okay, man got school in the week, so Friday, Saturday, man, straight up a merch shop, and you'll tell us by not merch shop, SKN.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you would be like, yo, I put on some nice clothes, we're going to do a photo shoot. I'm like, what? But them things that make us excited as a kid. Them things we'll never forget.
You see, it's true, facts. You see, that's the whole point. The thing was, I was thinking in my mind, what if I had myself, like somebody like me when I was coming up, and I see these young guys here trying to do music, and we live in a small country where the resources for music and all them things they're limited. Nobody really pushed the music. And the thing about it, I was doing hip hop too, and that's the same genre I was into. So it was just kind of like, damn, these guys might be the next wave of producers and artists out to sink it. In no way we can ignore these guys. We have to realize that these guys got potential. We have to realize that these guys need some kind of something like a foundation to help them to rise up and become who they're supposed to be. So that's what I saw in you guys. And I saw the hunger in you guys' eyes. You guys were hungry to learn. You guys, especially you. I was hungry to learn. Like you just wanted to know the technology. You wanted to know how to do this, how to use these programs. How do I get this stuff together? And it's like seeing a young guy trying to be real serious about his craft. You know, and I couldn't ignore that. I had to recognize that. Well, you say using Fruity Loops for arranging.
Yeah, for making beats, just making beats, and then when I want to record any vocals, then I got to studio.
Go to Studio One.
Yeah, because I started out just making beats, but then as I got more experience, more people would want the song to record.
Right.
You make the beat, so
It's
instead
true.
of them going to elsewhere, I could just do it right there.
Okay. Yeah.
So I had to learn, and around the time where we was dealing with like Love Me No More, we had we own everything. Like it was just we own team. Like we was doing everything in house. Me used to make the cover art.
Word.
Me used to mix, master, record everything, and we couldn't depend on anybody. Cause like one time you go into a virgin and you be like, yo, make this cover art for me. Mix down this song for me. You ain't gonna get it how you want it. So it's like
Right.
let me try to be very dependent on ourselves. Let me depend on ourselves.
True.
You
Facts.
feel me? And that is why we got here today, because we used to always try to do things on we own and just keep on building and building and building. And it was, trust me, it was a lot. I never used to get no good sleep. Like eating. Like I never used to get to go up my horse. The only time I go up my horse if we got performance, like clockwork, mixing,
Right.
recording, making beats. Just imagine you're making beats, you still got to mix down the beat.
Right.
Then you have to record the vocals, then mix
Exactly.
down the vocals, then you listen it over. And, yo,
And remember, I remember with music, they have somebody for every process, every level
exactly.
in the process. They're gonna have somebody who gonna record. This man just pressing the button, pressing record, laying down the tracks. After he done lay down the tracks, he passing it to another man,
Yeah.
to mix it. And all that stuff. And then after the man done mix it, he might pass it to another man again, to master it. So it's like a whole crew. It's actually like in the real music world, in the big music industry, is a whole group of people who to create that track. It doesn't really be a one person, but for us, we had to be like that because we ain't got the resources, we ain't got them type of links. We don't know a bunch of people, a bunch of engineers who we could just go to and say, hey, I'm coming into record and blah blah blah. So we had to like really like get ourselves learn these skills, to provide these skills for ourselves.
Trust me.
So,
Yes, sir.
so Trap House Studio, is that a label or just a studio?
Okay, how to put it? I started it off as a label, but I'm trying to convert it more into a studio. I think it would be like both, but I'm still doing my research, as it pertains to like how to properly organize a label and a studio. But
it's a tough thing.
I had an actual studio. So what I will do is, even though I will do my personal projects, I would invite people from the outside to come and have their songs mixed and mastered, because I'm not a professional, but I think I have a good amount of experience to say, okay, then I could probably get your song from here to here.
Right.
So yes, I had an actual studio location, and I'm still trying to, like understand how the label goes and properly running a studio, because it's still a business.
Exactly.
Not because you say it's a studio, it's still a business. You have to have people who could, track the bookings, and that's what I was doing through like about 3 to 3 years now, just trying to understand the business aspect, because when I was a little younger, we was just freeballing, like grab you easy, come with any little opportunity and you just get up and just, gone. Like it doesn't work like that anymore around here. So, we are getting a little more experience, more mature in the business, so we know how to maneuver right now. But as of right now, I would consider it both.
Okay. So you have any artist that's actually underneath that banner?
Yes. So I have G4 Easy.
G4. That's Zavi.
Yeah, Xavi.
Zavi, right? He's from the. I think I know Zavi. I think a young
That
dude from down Hertfordshire or somewhere, right?
that's where he people them from.
Okay,
Well,
yeah, I know him. I know
yeah,
him.
yeah.
I know him.
I have Keelia.
Keely, I don't know that one though.
Yes, that's a new uprising artist.
New Uprising. Okay.
Yeah, and then I have Dino.
Dino. Okay, I know Dino.
I have Kid Cash.
Kid Cash. Okay. Well, so what Kid Cash doing? He rapping still, or he switch up his genre? Cause I know a lot of guys switching the genre now because it's so hard for rappers to really make it out of sync. It's a tough thing. Like, trust me, I know about it well.
Kid
Like
Cash rapping still.
he rapping still. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Kid Cash
Because
doing
there's
it.
still
Kid Cash
there's
doing
still
it.
avenue, eh? There's still a little avenue somewhere there to
Yeah.
do rap if you want.
And then Taz, yeah, Taz
Taz,
are still
Taz.
around.
I don't remember Taz fully, but I know the name. Okay, so you have about 4 or 5 guys that
Yeah,
working with you underneath you trap house banner,
definitely, yes.
and you're also providing like studio like services.
Yeah, so what I will do is recording, mix and mastering, even like distributions. I help with that. Like
Like
I'm a art,
helping them to get the music
like
on
everything,
streaming platforms and stuff like that.
everything, marketing.
Marketing.
What else? Like everything that helps the song to sell. I
Right.
help as an artist in general, not even just an artist. Like on a personal level too.
Mhm.
It ain't just like okay, business and that is it. Like we still have to live good with each other.
Right. Right.
Like
Mhm.
in community as well.
Right.
Small community, a small team. Yeah.
So have you had any big success with any artists yet, like songs?
Yeah, I had
Mhm.
my biggest song to date.
Mhm.
Well, my first biggest song, that was "Love Me No More," and then
Right.
we had songs like local songs like Honda and them type of stuff.
Right.
And the biggest accomplishment was California, Byron Messia.
Oh, you're the one that did that?
Yeah,
Word.
and then that got me on the Billboard chart. So
That's great, man.
so
So that's the actual billboard. We're
actual
talking about real music, the music industry billboard.
actual Billboard. So
Okay, cool. So GT
that,
Beats is the producer of Byron Messia, California, and it's actually on the billboards. So that was his first breakthrough track to get him actually that's international, get him some international exposure.
yeah.
So Byron Messia, see, I know you work with him in the past. You still doing any work with him?
Well, check in and out, but
Yeah.
I don't know what the future holds.
Right. Well, I see now we tapping back in. We
Yeah.
tapping back in to sync it. So that's a good thing because at first when I saw him break out and he was kind of looked like he was swaying towards just being in Jamaica and kind of just getting soaked up into the industry, I was like, oh no, look like he's not gonna really you look like you're not gonna send back a hand by and try to pull some of the artists them from over there, man. Because in a sense, like that's what he got to do. Like because he's the one to open up the international door for us. He's the first artist from our region to actually break through on an international level. With that big track he had. What was the track? Taliban. Like that was big. Even that was big. Trust me. I hear cars passing outside my house playing it. I even heard it one time we was going somewhere and I heard it on Hot 97, which is the biggest radio station in New York. So I was like, that sounds big. And I saw him go on to do work with Chris Brown and Lil Baby and all these guys. So I was like, wow, that is amazing. So I was keeping my fingers crossed. I say, please don't forget the SK artists them. Please don't just be like that. And then I saw him doing a tour with Dejo now.
Yes,
and Scratchy with him and everybody with him. And I love it. I was like, oh yes. He ain't forget us. But I saw that when they would ask him about like whether it's Jamaica or St. Kitts, I saw that he would say, yeah, I'm from St. Kitts, and that's what really in my bones. That's what really in my blood. So that was really cool of him to still remember us, man. Because if he had just like, I mean, they really reaching back out, man, that would have been kind of like a real downer, man. So as far as like production, like how GTB start a beat? Like how you start a beat? Like when you start with drums, you start with some piano or sample. Like how does GTB start to put a beat together?
Well, I won't say I have a specific sequence, but it's just depending on how I feel on that day, because I listen a lot of records on a daily. Like, trust me, I got playlists for everything. I'm a piano, Afro, dancehall, pop, funk. Like, I don't subject myself to one thing, So I listen a lot of records, and I might hear this sample, hear this drum pattern, and I would listen it and be like, well, like how they get this do. I tell you, like, this curiosity still here, like how he put this, like how he get his bass and knock like this, like trust me, like my mind, I wish I could have given my mind to somebody for a day, because I analyze music like
Yeah, it
like,
happened to me too. Like I don't listen to music normal.
Yeah, like when everybody does this songs,
Yep.
I feel like I can't really enjoy music sometimes,
Oh
because
yeah, that's the bad part about being a producer.
me just there and it's like me listen for like, okay, then the bass I do this, and then how he got this snare them I got this way, and it's like
Right.
me just all over the place, especially like when I go to like concerts and so with like huge systems,
And you could hear things.
it's like wow, kidding the hands them cross there, and so just being in that experience, and I always try to go back and figure out like, okay, then let me see if I could do this. Sometimes in the moment, well, one thing, I'm not afraid to experiment, and that is what made me unique. Like, if I hear something that's so like uncommon, I wouldn't be afraid to be like, let me just left that like that.
Yeah, that's the thing about being a producer, man. You can never listen to music normal, never, because I don't do it either. I'd be like, I'll be listening to the beat. Like sometimes I gone out and I might be in a store or something, and a song come on the stereo in the store, and I did listening it, and I did talk, I did like, okay, I like the tone that they use for the backups. like I ain't listen, like people just listening to music, they just like the lyrics and maybe they like the beat and all that, but I just listening to the hats. Like, yo, them some dope hats the man using the beat by. Like sometimes I saw like a commercial come on TV, and I just did like, I like them hats that them man use by. Like you just don't listen music normal. Like you just don't listen music like the average listener. And like sometimes it could be an issue too, because sometimes it was like I just want my mind to just absorb the music and forget about everything else. But it just don't happen, man. It's just when you have that kind of like creative mind, a creative mind person just don't see the world like black and white. They see the world in a lot of colors. Cause I often say music is like colors, and and certain musicians see colors when they see music. They see different colors, and they're like, oh man, what kind of effect that there he use and the hands by like and like a normal person, they're like, what are you talking about, by? Like, like that's how it happened to me too, man. Like I just don't listen to music like the average person. So you find it hard to constantly produce one single genre?
It depends, cause some like my mind is very like wide. Like I feel like when I'm just doing this thing here, I'm just like limiting myself, because I'm also a musician.
Right.
So for me to just be there and just making dance beats, sometimes I'd be like, bye, me really want to make them a dance beat right.
But it's where you're at. It's where you're at.
Yeah.
You're at a dance place.
It's just how I feeling. But at the end of the day, I'm not just a dancer producer.
Because I know you started off making trap beats.
Yeah, exactly.
I got some of your trap beats still, but you give me a long time ago. I have them on my old computer.
Don't forget about them.
Yeah, you don't even know. You don't even know them beats there, right? Like them beats there is like a lot, like a needle in a haystack. You know what I mean? Like them beats there so long gone from you, like because these are some of your first composers. Like like compositions, like them beats there. I at one point I was gonna use them too, you know, because I was listening to them all the time and coming up with ideas. I just never got around to it, but I still have them on my old computer. But like a thing that I found like in sync is like you never could really be yourself totally because of having to adjust to your environment. You know, like for me, I wanted to do rap from day one, even back when rap wasn't even a thing in St. Kitts. And like most of everybody told me that it was impossible. Most of everybody said, but I don't really understand, I don't really see it. So sometimes would you be considering, hey, maybe I need to move?
Move from St. Kitts?
Yeah.
Eventually, but you know how I just have to make sure my foundation is very strong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like being on just get up and be like, you know, and just bust off.
Yeah,
You
like me.
know?
I just get tired of it, bro. I get tired of it because you know how I put up a long fight. I put up a long fight. I put up a I want to say a 10, 12 years, almost 15-year fight with trying to get people to like a rapper. Not change the music scene. Not tell people, oh, stop listening soca and dancehall. But saying, hey, I'm a rapper and I'm good at it. You know? And that's all I really wanted at the time. And I realized that I wasn't really gonna get that fully because people were just into what they're into. And even though they would say, your stuff sound good, you're talented, I think you have the charisma to do big things, you just ain't in the right place. Like people would often tell me that, and sometimes I took it personal because I didn't understand sometimes because I used to think like, man, the man just hating him. But
Alright.
sometimes they ain't hating, and sometimes it's true. Sometimes it's true. Sometimes it's like you're trying to sell people oranges when they want limes. So sometimes you have to really consider like what it gonna take to get your career on a level. But um Scotty mentioned some things that was important for nowadays is that we have an international artist in Byron Messia, which means that there's a possibility that people are looking for music from us. There's a possibility there now. There's a door open a little bit. It crack a little bit. Now we need more people to come and bang down that door.
Yeah.
Open it up, open it up, flood the gates. Let the artists them in, let the producers them in. So that's where we at right now. We at the door right now, just like banging it, like yo, we coming in here, we coming in here. Yeah, y'all trying to keep us out, we
Yeah.
coming in. So
Yeah.
that's what we need right now. And sometimes it take really sometimes not to like leave for good, but leave to be closer to that thing that you really want.
Mm.
Like for me, I was like, and I end up in New York, other odd places, and sometimes the universe walk really weird because New York is my number one influence in hip hop. And it was funny that I ended up on bass here now and have no choice but to kind of like absorb hip hop. And because it's only hip hop mostly they play here,
Mm.
mostly hip hop they play here. They might play a little Afro beats and a little dancehall and stuff like that, but it's hip hop. People, you're gonna run into a lot of rappers. You're gonna run into a lot of like R&B singers, and that's where I like to be. I like that. I like hip hop. I like R&B, and I like dancehall too. But I'm more of a 90s dancehall like lover, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I like the old school dancehall. You find like that the newer dancehall have a harder time breaking through to the international market, like the newer song, because it's a newer song. I think they call this trap dancehall.
Trap dancer.
Yeah, I think it's called a trap dancehall.
I feel as though that, you know, it's gonna take some time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because personally I love it, but I feel as though some of the records them the sound, you know, too repetitive, like
Mm-hmm.
same drum patterns, or even if like you know you copy, you use a similar drum pattern, you know, just try to make something unique about it, you know, like don't just try steady and hear somebody's record and just do the same thing. Switch it up. But a few records would stand out. A few records stand out for me, and I just feel as though it's gonna take some time, and because it's a new song basically.
Yeah, it is.
It's still a new song, so
it's a fusion between trap music, which is like hip hop,
yeah,
and Afrobeats. That I think like Afrobeats and trap hip hop, a kind of fusion between it, because I think that I think a lot of the Afrobeats and the two-day dancer could cross over together.
Well, you see, when you talk about Afrobeats, remember them Nigerians, them Kenyans heavily influenced
by dancehall,
by Jamaicans, like dancehall, so they admire dancehall a lot. Even if you check out like them UK dancehall, it's like dancehall, but they got their own swing to it.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like if you listen like grime and them type of things.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of Jamaicans in UK, so
but they are Jamaicans and they are Africans. They are Africans. They're just descendants. They moved. Their family moved there a long time ago, so they still got the African and Jamaican vibes. So most of the music is a cross between Jamaican and American, really. And it's just an influence and a fusion that they man putting together. It's just that I find that the dancehall of today is a little more raunchy, and well, you had raunchy dancehall back then, but this dancehall nowadays, I think it's the lyrical thing that's stopping it from really like breaking through big. Like nobody have that success yet, like Vybz Kartel out of that wave of dancehall. Like nobody have that yet. Because I've been watching a few shows from Jamaica, and they was talking about it. They're talking about like how the trap dancehall ain't breaking through like the old dancehall. Because people still listen to the old dancehall.
Yeah.
Like you'll find somebody still playing that old Sean Paul, Give Me the Light, and them songs there, and Vybz Kartel, Bounty Killer, Buju. You still find that, and they ain't playing a lot of the newer dancehall, and I don't think it's because of the sound. I think it's because of the lyrics.
Definitely.
So do you think like some of the lyrics is a little bit too wild, like some of the lyrics, because a lot of people just kind of singing about like violence and sex, and I don't see a lot of positive lyrics coming out of it. Do you think that anybody could make an impact without talking about violence, sex, and guns and all that stuff?
Definitely. I just feel like everybody have their own thing that they like. Like if a man over here and sing about guns and drugs and what's not, like you're gonna get people them and listen to him. You feel me? If you want to sing about positivity, even if it's a small amount, you're gonna have your crowd as well. Just stick to what you're doing, and hopefully one day, you level up with what you're doing. Just I just feel like not because a man sing about guns, drugs, I mean it's not art.
Yeah, it's still art, but I honestly don't have a problem with it. I just feel like there's no balance.
Okay,
it's too much of it. It's too much of it. Right, it's too much of it, because like if you find like back in the day, like they might have had like people like Patra in the 90s. They had people like Patra and them who sing Lady Sanso, who was singing raunchy lyrics, talking about if you thing ain't long till it bend, don't come and all them things. You know what I mean? Like under the sycamore tree and all them things, right? So it's like that was always there. Raunchiness was always there. But then we had somebody like Buju and stuff singing kind of uplifting, positive music and stuff, and we had other like other reggae stars who kind of balance it out, So we had the raunchiness. If that's what you want, it's there. But no, it's no balance. And what happened? I think that a lot of the newer artists finding it hard to break through when they're doing more positive music. Like when you're doing, let's say you coming in and you decide, well, okay, cool, I ain't gonna do the dung in your throat girl thing. I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna talk about Cause some people I've heard some people say, "Oh, I ain't want to hear no more bona ghetto lyrics than the ghetto." Right now, man, I live up, and man, I live big, and da. But the thing is, that's not true. There's a lot of people still living in a way where they need music to uplift them, and music is the first teacher. People learn a lot from music, so sometimes you'll find like the kids them they're learning from music. I made a video. I did a broadcast recently talking about this, like the violence in the music is too much now. Like it's just too much. It's too much. And it's like you even find like artists who never even say have been in the streets before, never touch a gun in their life.
Got the most say.
Got him more say about guns and violence and talking about it. They're popping a big chopper and all kind of thing. I'm like, how these artists talking like that? But I find like I say, you know why? Because they can't get no attention without doing that. And that's where we at right. I think that's where we at right now. We're like,
Yeah, I feel so too.
yeah, because trust me, man, like every single artist, man, just talking about the same thing. And I'm like, why? And it's because it's what's working. It's what's working. Like, because you work with artists, you work with a lot of different artists, and not too sure what your artists them rapping or singing about, but I'm sure when they're doing positive music, they feel like nobody really messing with them.
Why do you want to hear that too much?
Do you feel so, right? You feel like you, as a young producer, as a young man right now, do you feel like anybody want to hear anything positive?
But only a few, boy. Other than that, like, is either we talk about two bad girl partying, I want to chop a song and I want to broke out song for the girl them, and that's it. Like they want here, you know.
So in your opinion, what you think caused that? What do you think caused the artists and the energy to sweat towards that type of vibe?
I just feel like the world changed, you know, like
Right.
people are seeing more stuff now. Like, you know, we got TikTok and you know, you got like scamming is at a
high level.
Like high level right now. So it's like when you go up on TikTok and you hear about like the Yahoo boys, them, you know, you try to sing that somebody break out with a hit single and then a next person do it. So it's like, yo, other people gonna be like, well, it come like at them kind of things them and gonna sing about and them they get success too. So it's like there's a chain reaction, and
it's true.
Last somebody could sit down and put on like a towel was really unless it's like a family function, but nobody want to hear no positivity so easy. Like me as a musician, I would listen everything one singer like a noise, you know, but the regular audience by
I don't think positive. Yeah, yo, we're in a bad state, and it's dangerous, eh?
Bye.
It's dangerous because that means right. That means because remember everything what's happening now, setting up for the future. It's setting up for the future, setting up for the next decade. So whoever coming up, whoever born now, gonna watch what's happening now, take that and use that and say, this is what it's supposed to be. Because that's the energy we go into. And you're right, nobody wanna hear no positive, nothing. Not even say a positive talk. Like me you start talking positive, the man like, me gone here, gone home. The man like, me gone home, yeah. But let's talk some negativity now. Let's talk about like, but yeah, man, just fuck girl here and me got me gun here, the man. Stay with me gun. The man like, yeah, listen now, bye. I want to hear about that gun there. Yo. So that's where we at right now. And it's kind of scary to me. And me being an OG who come up in the streets for real, sometimes they'll really just be like, this is the same thing we fight to stop. Like people like me who grew up. I often tell people I grew up in the last tier of poverty and violence, where like we were poor, we had nothing. Because nowadays, and that's the reason why people wrote those songs in the past about being poor and growing up a certain way and having no father in the house, and these songs that our generation came upon versus your generation now, y'all ain't coming up like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got access to certain things, certain technology, you know, y'all ain't as poor as the last generation. So y'all ain't gonna really write songs about that. And that's something that I have to think about sometimes when I'm kind of like having these thoughts about why are this new generation just singing about violence and sex and all these things. I think like, man, this music often reflects what's going on in the times. And to me, what's going on in the times is talking about busting your gun, fucking your girl, and those type of things. That's what's going on. You know, the youths them right now ain't into no positivity, man. And it kind of heartbreaking, but hey, you know, it is what it is, man.
Well, I've already accepted it, like, trust me, I used to think about certain things, because even though I grew up in an era where, well, I still think I had a dose of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Because I born 99.
Right.
Till me and my
The
father.
tail of the 90s. Cause the 90s was a broke era too.
Yeah, and growing up listening to a lot of Tupac with my father, Biggie, and
Right,
them
right.
stuff. It just, as I got older, I realized, like, yo, music a change, and you just gotta adapt.
Adapt to the
You can
times.
used to be like, we make music a sound so now, but then after a while, like, you just can't do it. And when you create, you'll be unique with your thing. You feel
Right.
me? You do your best with your thing, and like, I had to accept it, but it's sad at the same time.
Yeah, it's a sad situation, man, because sometimes it's like, and another thing you realize is that a lot of the music is copy and paste. Yeah,
That's
people
what
like that's the last beat that work, so everybody want to do that same beat. That's the last topic that people use, because that's the generation we live in now too, a copy and paste generation. Everybody wants sound the same. Everybody want the same. I'm not gonna come to you and say, I hear a beat last night from Idonia, you know. You can't recreate the same beat, so I could just do the same thing on it. You're like, yo, dude, why you can't do your own thing?
Yeah, it always happened to me. A couple people will come to me and be like, bye, I want a beat like this, yeah, make a beat like this. I'm like, yo, I got my own style, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And even if I make a beat like that, I'm gonna put my own twist to it. And it's like, they want it close, and it's like, yo, like, where's the like, the creativity,
The originality.
the originality, like, the same really authentic. And sometimes you don't see where we speak, but hey, try your things,
Yeah, I get. No, well, I like I tell you, I produce. I started producing. I only started producing because when I had moved from St. Kitts, I had nobody, nobody to do anything for me. I had like back in St. Kitts, I used to always got a couple of people who I could just call on. Like a man like iBlaze and stuff. He was very technical. I would call on he to go in the studio with him because he technical. He would know how to tweak and he would know how to do certain things on the programs them that I wouldn't really know. He would know like how to just press one button and he just go over into this. Like he was really good on the Apple them too. And you know what I mean? Like he was really good with the Apple and all that stuff. So me had none of them people when I come up here, man. And then the pandemic had hit.
Right.
And the pandemic hit, right? That's when I really started like do my own thing, yeah. And I started off doing it in GarageBand. I used to use GarageBand on my phone, and I used to just take different pieces of loops and put them together and stuff, and then actually do some songs and stuff over them. And then I would send them to like close bridgings and so on. The man would say, "Where you do these?" I said, "I'm on my phone." The man said, "Why? Them things sound great, man, on your phone." Then I said, "You produce these?" I said, "Yeah, man, just some little loops and so I dash together, man. Ain't nothing serious." The man said, "But nothing serious, no, man. You gotta take this serious." So sometime and so I understand from a production level the struggles of the producer, and from when I started producing, I developed a whole new look on the producer. So now I don't play with the producer at all. I don't got nothing to say about the producer. I don't mess with the producer. I just let the producer do his thing because it's a tough job. It's a tough job. Like just a lot of people think that when they hear a hot beat that you just come up with it. You know what I mean? So you would you say like when you jump on your computer to make a beat, it instantly come out as a hot beat? You're the guy like got through a lot of different beats, and you got dash your beats. You say, "By the one day, dash your man, you move on again."
I tell you, like, sometimes you got to make at least 10
Yes.
You get about like one good one.
One.
You don't always be like, oh, every time I make a beat the song. But sometimes me make a beat and me start to question my talent, like, bye, me not really hard like how and it's like, how this could be possible because I got good songs everywhere that
Right.
you
Right.
want to the music, the same person I make this and I want this and so on. How me want it? So
Exactly.
just start the idea, me just save that. Cause one thing I just try not to delete me beats them,
Right.
especially when they're not so good because you never know, like you might reach back and
change
some
something.
idea you had, like your mind change, like oh you get a new idea, so you're going back to it. But
Right.
sometimes it got me a question, me potential, me by like yo,
Yeah, me too. Me too.
by
Yeah, me too.
this is me thing by like I gonna reach far in this thing. This is how I done accomplished before.
It happened to me all the
Like
time.
yo, like trust me, by like sometimes I get headache, and sometimes I got days where I just make a beat and everything just
Smooth.
flow out.
I feel like it'll work better when you get a break.
But yeah, you can't push it.
Like, cause some people will be like, man, just stay in your studio and make beats and make beats. I said, but watch here.
But no.
Listen, that ain't how we work. That's not how we work at all. Sometimes, right now, I made a beat. I think I make a beat about 3 days ago. And before that, I make 2 beats. None of them sound good to me. None of the beats them that I made sound good to me. Like I felt like they were trash. There was one of them that sound kind of good, and I was like, okay, cool, this one sound good, and I put it on my production page. That's what I do. To me, I hate to store up music, like just guide there, nobody really using it and nothing. So I come up with this thing where like, yo, if nobody want it, I'm putting it on me page. Let whoever want to listen to it. At least the music out my studio. Cause I hate this. They call it hoarding. I hate hoarding beats. I don't like to hoard beats. Like you know, like you got a library full up of beats. Like I got a library full of beats. And the thing is, some people not gonna like the beats. Cause everybody got their own idea of what they want to use. Cause sometimes I talking to artists and they'll be like, yo man, I see you making beats, something no. And I like, okay, cool. And I go send them something. They send me, it sound cool, but you see what I'm saying?
But
Yeah, it sound cool, but so sometimes it comes a thing like that, and it's like you got to put so much effort into making these beats. And another thing is like you sit there, you make a beat, you still gotta figure out the bass line.
yeah,
You still gotta figure out what the bass line gonna sound like. You know what I'm saying?
Mix it because I tell people like you could get a good sounding beat, but if you mix properly, then
Another thing is mixing too.
Yeah, like trust me, like that is
And arranging too. Arranging is a big thing.
Arranging.
Cause you could got a shitty beat and got a good arrangement, yeah.
Yup.
And a good arrangement could mean a lot, eh? Like somebody could just be like they're putting some stutters in there and they take out the drums them at a certain way and they let the synth run solo. Like they just do these little things. Cause some people that's the like people say like people like Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Like they say, and he think that he didn't make the best beats, but he did just beats them that just mix good and the sound banging. When you put them on, it's like boom, boom, bap. Like you're like, yo, what the hell? Why the beat sound so smack? Like the drums them hitting you in your chest and everything just in place and like and like sometimes and so what you say just now, like you question yourself. That happened to me all the time. I make a whole album, eh? I did a whole album after like I did get my production skills together a little bit. I was like, yo, I feel like I'm ready to go and create something that a body of work. So I made an album which did all right. It's on streaming platforms, and I produced the whole album top to bottom myself. Like, and that's the first time in my whole life that I ever did anything like that.
Man,
like,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's the first time. I got another one working on right now. I got another one, but what I'm trying to do this time around is get more people involved. Like instead of like just doing everything myself, like just to get different ideas in there and kind of like get a little more colors and stuff. Because sometimes by yourself, you could just be doing the same over and over, and something I gotta bring in a little bit different opinions and stuff. So that's something that I'm working on. But yeah, man, it's like as a producer, you question yourself because you often feel like you walk that you're doing right now ain't as good as your last walk. You often feel that way a lot. Like my last walk was really the last beat, especially if you had a hit. If you had a hit, if you had a hit the last time, you're chasing that hit. You're like, man, none of these beats hitting like that there, boy. What's going on? And it's like when you have a hit, you expect to have another one, eh? In your mind. You're thinking like, okay, let's go again. And then you realize shit ain't hit by. What going on? What happened? What happened there? But ain't even so nothing that you do wrong. It's just like certain things ain't in place the same way as the last beat. Like the artist will use the beat mightn't be the same artist again. The way the artist promoted the beat, this one is not promoted the same way. Like it's a lot of different things, but it's just things that happen as a producer, and as a producer, you just can't just expect anything really. I don't really expect nothing, and sometimes when I don't expect nothing, that's when something that happen.
Exactly. We don't have to my head no more. Like
no, just create, and whatever it is. Yeah, you just create, and sometimes you just gotta let your creation flow. Don't think about nobody. Don't think about because I often like to use this quote by this man named Rick Rubin. He said, "The audience don't know what they want until they hear it. So don't worry about what you're making in the studio. Don't worry about all that. Like, don't think like I want to make this here, but the man gonna love it. No, just kind of just create, just walk, just create and see where it goes, man. Just create and see where it goes. All right, man. So GT, you got anything new coming out? You got anything new that you would like to update us on?
Right now, I'm trying to get some more music videos. I have a few projects, but I'm just trying to be a little more organized. I have some work with Kid Cash, the the Trap House team.
Yeah, the Trap House team, right?
Trap House team, and we're working on some merch as well.
That's good. That's good.
I'm about to get into the aspect, because there were a lot of things we wanted to do and we couldn't do at the time because them time the man young man really
right. Y'all ain't had no funding.
Yeah, man got work now, so we gonna use that to
yeah, invest back your money into yourself.
Funnel the business through that, so
right.
That's what we're working on right now, and maybe too much commotion and gimmicks and everything. They're just business, music, health.
But I often see you with one of your artists them a lot. I think Xavier, whatever his name is. Xavier. I often see you with him a lot. Do you spend more time with he and kind of helping him craft?
Yeah, I would say Xavier is second in command to Trap House because Xavier is also a graphic designer.
Okay, so he designing all of the
all the cover arts. Any cover arts you see from Trap House, Xavier.
Wait, I wonder. I tried to figure out if he designed something for me before.
Maybe yeah, he don't network a lot.
I tried to figure out. I mean, he might have designed either like a song art or something, because I noticed he was doing a lot of song art back then, and it was really looking really good.
Yeah, Xavier, but shout out Xavier. He's
big up to Xavier.
Right hand, like anything with business, advice, them type of things. Like he understand the business. So he understand the business more than me. He spend more time doing that as well. Me don't got too much other things going on. So
right. That's good that you have. That's good that you have a partner that picking up some of the slack, because doing this thing by yourself ain't easy, bro. This shit hard. This shit hard to do by yourself, because you got to produce, then engineer, and you still got to coach the artist them.
Exactly. I even show Xavier how to record and mix it one song in the way. Okay, we had a time when I had my studio in town. Sometimes I wouldn't be available, and Xavier, available, and we tell Xavier, okay, just record this for me. This is how much is required from the person. Show him about the effects and them type of thing. It doesn't have to be mixed to like the best. Still, you don't have to mix it like me. Once you get the presets them on, you get down the tracks them, are you gonna take over from there? So just being able to have that little piece of assistance there, contributes a lot. Me I tell you, take a little slack off me, because sometimes I'm in a tired body. Yo, me I do too much.
Watch.
You don't do too much, me
I,
boy.
I would love to be like how like people like Kanye and them they be. Like people like Kanye and them, they get all the production credit, but they got 12 people working with them. 12 people. Somebody making loops. So somebody there making loops, you know, just there on the keyboard, just like making loops. Then just giving him a loop. Say, hey, Kanye, I do these 5 loops. Check them out. Bam. Kanye get the loops them. Kanye like, okay, cool. I like this one. I'm gonna chop it up. Then he gonna chop it up how he want it. Then he gonna add whatever, drums, whatever. Then he gonna engineer in the studio now. He gonna say, turn up that a little bit, turn down that a little bit. Do that. Mix this. And then when he reached to a certain level where he like, he just say, okay, cool. Give that to the engineer over there. Let him do that. Let him do what he want. And it's a whole team effort. And like to be your own self in the studio doing everything, it'll be too much. Sometimes.
Yeah, but it helps you overall though, because like I could actually mix and master a whole album myself clean.
Right.
Record, make beat, mix beat. And sometimes I listen back to me old projects and be like, yo, like you do all of this, yeah, boy.
Word.
Like you do all of this, like the last project I released from Keely.
Mm-hmm.
She released an EP, and like I keep surprising myself, and that's a good thing. Even though in the moment it does be a little hectic.
What the EP name? What the EP name? So we could put it out there.
Reflection of Truth.
By
Keely.
By Keely, Reflection of Truth. So everybody go check out that.
L.I. Reflection of Truth.
Mm-hmm. So that's on all streaming platforms?
Yeah. Apple Music. Come on, man.
Okay, nice.
Nice. Yeah,
nice.
But you know, I just keep surprising myself, and in the moment it does be very exhausting, but you know, I always make sure I complete the work to best of my abilities. And
right.
when it's time to listen back now, I always do like, you know, referencing, like, let me hear this in a camera, like, yo, like, I like this effect. And you always like you're evaluating now for the future, and you say, okay, the next time seeing that do this, I could do this now. You know, it's like you unlock something new.
So you ever developed, because it happened to me, you ever developed demonitis?
What is that?
It's like a thing where you hear the music so much that by the time it's ready to be released, you don't want to hear it no more.
Yeah, it happened to me a lot. Like when I'm making beats, let's say if I stay on a beat for like an hour, like I would just stop listening to the beat and then probably go back to it a little later. Like I don't want to hear it over and over again.
Yeah.
I want to hear something different because I feel like I spend so much time on it, and it's like, yo, I was hearing the same thing. I want to hear something different to me. Yes, and yeah, it happened to me.
Yeah. It's also like when you record like a demo copy.
Yeah.
Because that's why it's called demonitis. It's like you record a demo copy and you've been listening to it a lot, and no, you don't want to hear it at all. Like it's like you don't want to hear it. You're like, bye, get that out of here, bye. Yeah. And nobody never hear it, eh? It's still like basically new music to new listeners, but to you who've been listening to it every day, making it, putting it together, make a demo copy. So some people that say like, what they just do, because I started doing it too. Don't take them out to the studio until you're ready for them. Leave them in the studio. Like if you record and you make something, just leave it in the studio. Don't make no demo copy not like that. Yeah, because you're gonna just be listening to it all the time, and by the time it come around for you to maybe create over it, have some kind of creative process, you can't come up with nothing because you just hear this one music so much that you feel like it's old music. Because even my album new because people never hear it. It's new music. It's only been out 2 years. People never hear it, so it's like I gotta bring that to the forefront still, and I still bringing it to the forefront every chance I get. Like, yo, check this out. Maybe you might like it. Who knows? You know what I mean? But it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work that it's a lot of work that goes into this whole production, producing, running your studio. Like, it's a lot of work. Lot of work. So people got to really realize that. So sometimes it's good to kind of get an insight on the producers and the artists to tell their story, to show you how much work they got to do, man.
Right.
So anything that you want the people to know before we close out?
Yeah, I just want to thank you, for bringing me here.
I appreciate you coming on, man, because sometimes you try to get people to come on, and the thing is, now that I'm all the way out here, it's never really easy to get anybody to do anything from all the way down by you. So Because sometimes people say, yeah, but you know, they know they didn't show up. But so far, I've had a good feedback doing these interviews, and I really focus. I really focused on sync it artists and producers because that's who I really want to push. That's what I want to expose to the world. So that's why I'm reaching back out to y'all guys, because you guys need to be seen. You guys need to be heard. So that's why I'm reaching out to you guys to do these interviews and to connect with you guys. But so I appreciate you coming on man. I appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Yeah, so I appreciate you for bringing me here. And one person I got to big up for really, and a lot of people don't know this, is Jonathan J Black.
J Black. Okay.
He gave us our first studio monitors.
Nice.
Yes.
So I think he used to be a producer and he kind of like stopped.
Yeah.
Yo, believe it or not, I bought. I'm sure he never had anybody else buy a beat from him. I bought one of his. I probably was the first person to buy a beat from him. Actually, pay him for the beat. Yeah, pay him for the beat.
Yeah, man. Big up J Black anyway.
So,
and, big up the Chap House family. Everyone who played a major role.
Right.
Right now, as we speak. So it's just a lot of organization we're trying to get in place, but just look out for more. And yeah, big up you again, man.
big up yourself too, my G. All right, man. So how do we reach you? How do we see you?
At GT Beats with 2S. We have Chap House Studio INC, and my business number is 663-3047. So so if you want to send any stems, shout me a DM, send me a text, whatever it is, feel free to do so. My email is chaphousestudio.inc@gmail.com.
Word up. All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, GT Beats are the saying, kids, a young upcoming producer. He's done work with Byron Messia. He's done work with a lot of other artists. He's building his own thing, and he's doing great, man. And we were happy to have him on today, man. GT Beats, man. Thank you for coming on the show, and much respect and good luck for the future, man.
Yeah, man. Same to you, Dad.
All right. Peace and one love, brother.
One love.